Hello, this is a tour of a new application, Booksellers, version 12. This is for the iPad or PC or Macintosh using a companion app. I'm going to give a tour of this application to give you an idea what the capabilities are. Before I get started, let's explain what Booksellers is. If you're an online bookseller or you have an organization or a store where you retail books, this is an ideal application to manage your books and keep track of customers and the sales of the customer books. Also, there is a section where you can gather information about people that are requesting books. You can also run reports and other particular information about the application. This is the main screen, so when the application opens, you have a client or customer, the type of client customer that you might have, and information about them to contact them, what kind of customer they are, either a collector of books, a reseller, or a buyer. You have their address and a place to take notes about that particular customer. On this side over here, as we step through the application, you would use the drop-down list on this screen to pick from the list of current books that are available. I have some samples in the application when you receive it that you can use, and of course you can replace these by overwriting them. The way you add a book to a particular client if they're interested in buying it is to click on the book of the selection that you want to. As soon as you open it up, you want to make sure if it comes up on the screen, if it is already sold, then the book is not available. Obviously, these conditions can be available as far as if it's sold or there's a deposit on the book or it's available to be sold, or the actual item has been donated or salvaged where it's been removed and salvaged. Other information that's available in this particular thing is the ISBN for tracking the book online if you need to go look for it, and information about it, the title, the condition of the book. The author of the book is available if you want to look for different authors. You can do searches in other parts of the application. There's also a list of different kinds of book venues that you can add and edit in the application. Now on the iPad or on this application, these would be all scrolling rollers. These can be edited if you have the companion app. If you do not, you would use this application to modify the list, or on the iPad you do not have the capability to change them without contacting the developer to add that information. Let's say, for instance, we're going to sell this book. We put it up on the list and we picked it, and we want to go in and actually sell this to this particular client. So we click on Sell This Book. The list for the information of the items brings in the client as far as who is going to be sold to. This information to some degree is added from the books in stock list where you've added these books into inventory. Things like the actual shipping cost and shipping information that you set up would be something you would be editing. The information in the original setup of the inventory would have set the sell price and the purchase price of the book. And if you wanted to change the book status, you would change it from here. There's a nice little quick copy thing if you want to copy the information about the book to post it on a website as far as information for it and what it's being sold for. You can also add comments either about the book and the condition, so that you can also add that into a website like eBay or Amazon as required for taking the information from the book that's being sold. This information can also be for comments that are related to the person that is purchasing this in particular book. The venue, like we said before, can be changed. The date of the publish is used with a drop-down calendar, so you can pick it readily. And also, if you have the author or publisher, you can add the author and publisher for this particular thing. This either can be done in this screen or it can be done in the book stock, which is up in the top, books in stock. We'll come back and show you how you run the report later. You can also add a image of the actual picture. If you're on the iPad and you tap this, you can either take it from an actual photo that you take using your iPad, or you can take it from a stock image that you can take off the internet, where you have a selection of books that you can pick from and get the covers. This is the information you would use if you're actually shipping the item. You would have the shipping cost at the standard weight and shipping for the package. This would be how you're going to ship it. If you're going to add insurance, you would add that in there. And then add a margin that should cover your packing cost and a profit margin on the shipping. That would give you the sum of the total shipping, which is also shown over here. If you do tax or have a VAT that you add to a cost of the sale of the book, you would add the percentage in here. That would give you the tax or VAT, and then that would give you the total for the book using the shipping, which you've indicated over here, and the actual selling price of the book. There's one other factor in the book stock. Let's go over there and look at that might adjust your correct price. You pick a book off the listing. For example, let's take this book here and click on it. You'll notice that there is a tabbed interface in here. This is where you originally add the book as far as adding it to stock. As you purchase items, you put the information in here and set it up. This information is reflected into the sales portion of this application. But here is another part of the app that's important. If you actually list on Amazon, eBay, or some other book sales online, you would take and add the date, the location where you're going to do it, the duration that it's going to be on there, and what the fee would be, or fees, the sum of, what they would be for that listing. If you list it once or more, you're going to have a listed value down at the bottom, and also a status whether it was sold or not sold or pending. If it is sold or going to sell, you would want to add the additional cost for listing to your book of your price of your book over in the actual seller information, so that you could have the ability to cover your cost as far as the additional cost for listing. Let's go back and take a look at this, and you can see that the application also has a book stock list, which we look at here. If we want to go look at a different book, we can move between by hitting the icon with a click or tap at the end. There's also another place to put the book cover with a little larger view of it here. There's also icons to move between the different books that are already listed in your inventory, so you can go ahead and pop back and forth between those. Let's go back to the customer, and let's take a look at authors. Author is a location where if you get a request for a book, or you have somebody that wants to know more about a book that you have listed, this is where you would keep information about certain books, either if you do have them or you don't have them. Since these are books of interest, you can also use this portal to take information for people that have requested the book, and this would give you the opportunity to go back and tell them that you're either going to put it in stock and or have it in stock shortly. So this would give them the information. You could send them an email with whatever information you need to that describes the application or book that you're going to be sending to them. There's an author's list. In this case, there's only one current entry in there, but this would list all the books that are books of interest from the authors that you're looking at. Let's go back to customers. In the customers area again, let's take a look at the book sales, and then look at the sales report. The sales report is a comprehensive book by client. So if you have a client that's purchased one, or a client that's purchased more than one book, you can either do a find to find the individual client by using the name of the client in a search, and or the date of the book and the client to find specific books. For example, in this case of two people, one book with two books with one sale. You can also use this button to go look at that particular information as far as where the book was sold by clicking on this icon here. There's additional information that would not print, for example, condition, the book venue, and the listing fee that we spoke about before that should be added to each individual book as far as the individual cost. That's maybe something where you want to pop over and add that value as the book is listed or maybe running on the list, and change your sell price. Down at the bottom of the report, it has a comprehensive list of the values for whatever books are in selection. So if you looked at one individual person, it would show you the summary at this level, and then it would summarize it in a grand summary for all the books that are currently in selection. This is something where if you're looking at a week, month, or a quarter or a year where you want to see what books have sold and what the values are either for income or cash flow or sales tax as far as tax that have been collected, this is where you would come to do that. You would use the find and do find. The find opens up the find so you can go ahead and pick who you want to go see. Then click the do find in order to find that person and the summary of their information. Okay, this is a short tour of this application. This is a very inexpensive application with a lot of power, so I suggest that you take and look through the entire app or look at the user guide for more information. The user guide is found on the developer's website. Thank you for taking this tour.